do you have to replace a faucet like this? For instance, here in the sink, I am in the basement in the customer, so I'm going to teach you step by step how you can do it. Remember, before doing anything, always close the valve. For instance, for hot, cold, whatever you're going to be working on. And here we have the water meter. This is the cold water. Over there you have the valve that you have to close and open depending on what you are doing. But make sure that you do that before you do anything else. But okay, now we are going to unscrew these two nuts, and then we're going to replace the faucet. Here we have two options. We have the option to replace it with those bolt nuts, or we can replace those nuts as well. Now we have to unscrew the two screws that this faucet has. Maybe yours it doesn't have any, but in this case it has only two on each side. So the new one, it comes with the one screw in the back. That's it to tighten it up. So the camera was a little bit low, but it works. As you can see, you have those two screws on the side. All right, we're going to put some tape. Plumber's tape to make sure that there's not going to be leaks. There we go. We're going to use this screw to tie that up. Alright, here we are going to adjust them and see how it goes. If you see that it's leaking and everything else, we will have to replace it, but you can give it a shot and see how it goes. And now we have to unscrew it in the back to make it firm and tight. Now I'm going to show you in a little bit how to adjust it from the back. Alright, that is the screw that I was talking about. As you can see, very easy, one screw. It can be very, very firm and tight. So that is the easiest part. Now I'm going to test it and see how it goes. Before doing that, I'm going to finish adjusting the nuts. And you're going to need this crazy big wrench. Tight it, but not too much. Don't break it. It should work. If you have to tighten it too much and you still have some leaks, it's because you have to replace the nuts with something else. So in this case, I like more sharp bite. With sharp bite, you can do almost everything. The only thing that you have to buy is the adapters, cut the ends, and that's it. So if in the future you have any problems, it's easy to replace it, to fix it. You don't have to solder or anything like that. Here I was going to use one of those round things to cut the pipe, but as you can see, this is very tight. So I'm going to get my multi-tool, and that will make my life much easier. Right, now I'm going to flip the blade. That is how I have it in my toolbox, so that way it doesn't damage anything else. And if you unscrew the nut, I mean, you can cut it, you can hold it in place. Otherwise, if you can keep it on the faucet, at least with a few turns, that will help you to cut it without lifting this up. So that is one of the options. As you can see, it worked. Now you have to make sure that you don't have any sharpness or anything like that, and the surface have to be completely flat. If it's not completely flat, you have to file it and make sure that it's completely smooth. Otherwise, if you put the shark bite adapter, it will not work and you will have leaks, and it will be a pain in the butt, and then you have to remove it and put it back in, then, remove it, file it, or you can cut it with the other tool that I was using in the beginning. But it's better if you do it once the first time right, instead of doing the same job twice. Now I'm going to install the adapter. As you can see here, in this case, very easy. You just push it in and that's it. And then you have to screw in the nuts that comes with the same kit, so you don't have to buy anything extra. So if you cannot use whatever you had before, like I said, you can cut it, you can go to Home Depot, buy those adapters. I like them a lot. It's like a Lego. You can use them very quickly. You can finish the job. Also use the plumber's tape to make sure that you don't have any leaks and anything like that, and then we should be good. So now let's turn this thing. You can put it by hand, and then once it's everything in place, you can tighten it up. So it's very easy. At least with this adapter, it has a shape, like a two flat shape on the sides, where you can hold it with your wrench, and with another wrench you can finish adjusting the nuts, and that's it. This is the part that I was talking about. So with two wrenches, you hold the one on the bottom, the other on the top, and that's it. So now my camera is aiming to the wrong side. I have one of those kits to hold my camera, on your body. So it's kind of difficult to do both things at the same time. But once you have everything in place, you will be able to tell how to do it. Now that everything is in place, as you can see, you can adjust it with the bigger one, the biggest one. That is the one that goes to the faucet itself, and that's it. Do not over tight it. Alright, so we have the adapter. As you can see, we're going to cut this. I just replaced this. This worked great. Just cut it there with the multi-tool as usual. And then, because this is not long enough, or just barely long, we're going to cut it, with the multi-tool. Otherwise, we can use this. I like this better because you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to file the pipe at the end. But this is not the case. Otherwise, if I had a lot of pipe to cut, yes, I can do that. But in this case, I cannot do that. So we're going to replace this. There is no push fit option with sharp bite. So you have to buy this option that you see here. And then I'm going to use it with this. That is what it came with the kit for this, as you can see here. So once you do that, we should be able to cut it, put this in, we should be good. I'm going to show you how. Alright, now we're going to unscrew it. So this time was easier because I didn't have to hold the other side of the pipe. So now we have to make sure that the surface is completely smooth. If you're having something that is protruding or anything like that, you will have to cut it, file it, or anything like that. So in this case, I have my Victorinox. It's a saber tool, and it has a small file, and I'm going to do that in order to keep it everything smooth. What I'm going to try to do here is to use the multi-tool in order to remove any protruding or anything like that from the thing. So I try to use some with a torch, but it's kind of difficult. So it's better. It works very. I mean, it works very good if you do it the way I'm doing it. This is great. So you have to be very cautious that you're not going to make any dent on the pipe, otherwise you're going to have problems. Worst case scenario, you can replace the whole elbow, and you can use a PEX pipe, and that should do the trick. But I try to do the least amount of damage here, and always, I mean, you can use the least amount of material, and if I can keep it that way, I'll do it that way. Also, it's going to be more economical for the customer. So as you can see, I'm touching over there, so that way I can tell if the surface is good or not. Also, well, once everything is good, you can put the adapter. We should be good. Here, as you can see, I'm removing the adapter. So I'm making sure that we have 1 inch. Otherwise, if it doesn't fit all the way, you're going to have leaks. And if that is the case, like I said, you will have to cut the elbow and add a little bit more of pipe with a X pipe. That is my best option. Then after that, it will be good. So now we're going to use the Teflon tape or the plumber's tape, as you can see, and that should be good. Just few turns, that should be enough to keep it from leaking. Same as before, you adjust it with a big one, and then on the bottom and the little one on the top, and that's it. Do not over tight it. You just make sure that it's tight enough, and you should be good. All right, all good. Now I'm going to the other side of the basement to open the main valve. In this case, on my right, I have the water meter, and then I have to go to the other side to open the valve for the heater. So in this case, as you can see, the cold water, it works just fine. Now I'm going to open the valve on the heater. It's on my right. I barely can fit, so very easy. That way you can make sure that everything works fine. All right, as you can see, it works. We have water, hot, we have cold. Success, no leaks everywhere, anywhere. So now we're ready to go home.